Hello my dear friends, and welcome back to another Star Wars news update. Today is Revenge of the Sixth, 2 days on from Star Wars Day, and I hope you're all having a great one. So in today's video, we're going to be speaking about the Kenobi series, because we do have a couple of tidbits, and we're going to start with the biggest one. On Jimmy Kimmel Live a couple of days ago, Ewan McGregor hinted at a potential Jedi Fallen Order connection to the Kenobi series. We already know the game was a big influence on the show, notably with the Inquisitors, their fortress on the moon of Nur, and of course the Purge Troopers, the new design for the Purge Troopers, which is also going to feature in the Jedi Fallen Order sequel. But in his interview, Ewan McGregor may have hinted at something bigger. Let's dive into it. While appearing on Jimmy Kimmel, McGregor took time to praise director Deborah Chow, describing her as, quote, amazing at knowing all of that stuff when it came to the layers of Star Wars lore that's built up over the decades. He also made mention of the novels and games, pointing out that with such a fervent fan base, they had to be sure everything matched up with the storylines from everything else. And then he said, quote, you can't have some fact in a video game that doesn't match up to the movie. And as I've said in the past, it's really great that Deborah Chow has respected the existing Star Wars lore. She was very respectful of what George Lucas created, but also double-checked with the games, the shows, the novels, and so on. In other words, continuity was absolutely vital. But in this interview, Ewan McGregor's explicit mention of this video game has caught the attention of many outlets who believe that he is referencing Jedi Fallen Order. And with a possible announcement and trailer at Star Wars Celebration for the sequel to the game, they could be trying to link it to this series. And as I said guys, it's already established that the Inquisitors, the main villains of Jedi Fallen Order, are also the primary antagonists in the Kenobi series, even though they're different Inquisitors. So instead of the second and the ninth sister, we have the third and the fourth, with the addition of Star Wars Rebels fan favourites the fifth brother and Grand Inquisitor. But you cannot deny that the idea of Inquisitors evokes the mental image of Jedi Fallen Order. It's so ingrained in the plot of the game, especially with the fact that we are getting a live-action version of their fortress. So what else could be connected? We know that there's a Force colony on Jabim, which many fans have stated could connect to Cal Kestis. While so many of us would love to see Cameron Monaghan in live action as Cal, unless Lucasfilm kept him strictly under wraps, all of the leakers have denied that he or any of the Mantis crew are going to appear. But even if we don't see Cal, it is possible the events of the Kenobi show could in many ways impact what happens in the upcoming sequel to the game. It was the original teaser trailer that got fans wondering if we were gonna see the Jedi in the show. And since the Kenobi series only takes place a few years after the first game, you might argue that this shows the perfect opportunity to introduce a live-action Cal. In my opinion, my dear Mandalorians, when it comes to seeing Cal Kestis in live action, it won't be until they've completed his mission and adventures in the Fallen Order games. Maybe following Jedi Fallen Order 2, he will appear in a Disney Plus show. It's just a question of when. So that's pretty much what he said about that, but also in the Jimmy Kimmel interview, he spoke about what it was like seeing Star Wars for the first time, and in case you don't know, his uncle is Dennis Lawson, who of course played the legendary Wedge Antilles. So in the middle of promoting his show, McGregor recalled seeing his uncle in Star Wars when it first hit theatres, and this is what he said. I remember standing outside the school, I was 5 or 6, and I was standing outside the school with my brother and my mum and dad picked us up, and they were taking us to the big city to watch a movie that my uncle Dennis was in, and so we went, and we were so excited to go and see, you know, your uncle in a movie. It was so exciting, and then we sat down there and it was Star Wars. It just sort of blew our minds away. And the sweetest part about this story, the most wholesome aspect, is that McGregor went on to speak about how he's maintained a relationship with Lawson over the years. According to McGregor, he will frequently call Lawson while on set for a project, as he is, quote, the only member of the family he trusts to give him acting advice. And this of course makes sense given that McGregor now plays one of the most iconic Star Wars characters of all time. Some really awesome stuff. And so now my dear friends, staying on the subject of Obi-Wan Kenobi, we do have an exclusive look at some of the props. These circulated online before being deleted, and in these photos we get a close look at Obi-Wan's lightsaber and also the blaster that we saw him use in the trailer. And so now guys, a tidbit for the KOTOR remake, Knights of the Old Republic. 7 months ago, the KOTOR remake was announced for PC and PS5 by developer Aspyr, Sony and Lucasfilm Games. Since then, there's been no word on the game from any of these parties, nor word of when this will change, and considering the fact the announcement trailer was a vague cinematic teaser, suggests the game is far away from release, but now an insider has come out and said, this might not be the case. According to insider and leaker account NGT, the game will quote hopefully release next year in 2023. Unfortunately, this is all they had to say on the matter. We don't know how much is speculation and how much is them putting forward a genuine leak. And alongside the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order, this game is one of the most anticipated. And so with that said, my dear friends, that brings us to the end of this Star Wars news update. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and a massive welcome if you are. And if you want more videos not found here on YouTube, then click the link down there in the description. And I will also say I'm currently working on a very special Star Wars comics project. I teased it on the Discord, but I'm collaborating with a couple of others who are helping to bring my favourite Star Wars comic to life. And I will be sharing that video with you within the next month, so look out for that. But until the next one, my dear friends, may the Force be with you always. I'm Star Wars Meg. Have a good one.